The world is full of places you can visit, but some places visit you, changing you long after you've left. Bhutan is one of those. The door to this extraordinary kingdom is about to close, perhaps forever, to most of us. Imagine a land where success is measured in happiness, not money, where ancient monasteries cling to cliff sides and the air feels cleaner, purer. This isn't a fairy tale, it's Bhutan. The kingdom has made a decision that sent shockwaves through the travel world. It's choosing to protect its soul, even if it means turning away outsiders. The clock is ticking. The chance to experience this last Himalayan sanctuary is slipping away. For decades, Bhutan was a whisper among the world's most discerning travelers, always exclusive, always mysterious. By design, the country kept mass tourism at bay, preferring a small stream of visitors who respected its values. But now, even that stream is being dammed. Starting in 2026, Bhutan will implement some of the strictest travel controls on Earth. The message is clear: Bhutan is not for sale. Its culture and pristine environment are treasures too precious to risk. This isn't just about raising a fee, it's about building a fortress to preserve a national identity. Bhutan has watched as other global treasures have been trampled under the weight of countless feet, sacred sites turned into selfie backdrops. In an age where every country clamors for more tourists, Bhutan is choosing preservation over profit. So what does this mean for you? The window of opportunity is smaller than ever. The Bhutan that's been accessible, albeit with difficulty, is about to recede into myth. This is a warning, and an invitation. A look at why Bhutan is making this drastic choice, and a guide for those who might want to answer one final call. The time to listen, and perhaps to go, is now. Tucked away in the Himalayas, squeezed between China and India, lies Bhutan, a country that's always played by its own rules. While the world chases economic growth, Bhutan quietly follows a different philosophy: gross national happiness. Here, the spiritual, emotional, and cultural well-being of people is as important as the economy. This isn't just a slogan, it's the bedrock of government policy. You see it in the forests that cover over 70% of the country, in the traditional architecture and in the calm faces of its people. Gross national happiness is built on 4 pillars: sustainable development, environmental conservation, cultural preservation, and good governance. This unique approach has allowed Bhutan to avoid the pitfalls of rapid development. Instead of slums and pollution, you find a society deeply connected to its past and cautiously optimistic about its future. Bhutan asks you to slow down, to observe, to listen. Festivals are sacred community events, not performances for tourists. It's this fragile experiment in national well-being that Bhutan now feels is under threat. For years, Bhutan managed tourism with a simple tool: a high price tag. The high-value, low-volume policy meant visitors paid a steep daily fee, much of which funded free healthcare, education, and infrastructure. But after the pandemic, Bhutan tripled its sustainable development fee to $200 per person per day, on top of other costs. The message: visiting Bhutan is a privilege, not a right. Internally, concerns grew that even limited tourism was straining resources and culture. Guides saw tourists more interested in Instagram than monasteries. Environmental impacts became noticeable. Bhutanese watched as places like Nepal and Thailand were transformed by mass tourism, and vowed to avoid that fate. The global explosion of travel made the threat urgent. A photo of Tiger's Nest can spark instant demand worldwide. The high fee became a defensive measure, ensuring only those truly invested in Bhutan's values would come. It's controversial, but for Bhutan, the alternative, a slow erosion of culture and environment, is unthinkable. The price of paradise, they decided, must be high enough to keep it paradise. The walls are going up not out of greed but out of necessity. The changes so far are just the beginning. In 2026, Bhutan will set a hard annual cap on tourist numbers, possibly as low as 25,000 to 50,000 per year. That's fewer than Venice receives in a single day. Getting a visa will require more than money. Applicants may need to detail their reasons for visiting, with priority given to those interested in fields like Buddhist studies or environmental science. Bhutan wants active participants, not just tourists. Minimum stay requirements and incentives for longer, deeper visits are expected. Quick trips to see the highlights will be a thing of the past. The visa process will be centralized and highly selective, with no guarantee of success. From 2026, visiting Bhutan will be less like booking a holiday and more like applying for a fellowship. Most of us will only ever see it in pictures. As news of these changes spreads, recent visitors' stories become the final testimonies of an era. Eleanor, a retired teacher from Canada, described her trip. You feel it the moment you step off the plane. The air, the silence, it's different. My guide shared his life, not just the sights, it was a connection, not a transaction. Ben, a young photographer from Australia, saved for 2 years to visit after the fee increase. It was expensive but priceless. I trekked for days without seeing another tourist. In that silence, you understand why they're protecting it. A UK couple attended a local festival. We were the only foreigners. No one performed for us. We were quiet observers of a sacred ritual. We felt welcomed, not just tolerated. These stories share a common thread: authentic human connection, a rarity in today's world of transactional tourism. The new policies, while protecting culture, may make these moments even rarer. The focus on academic or specific interests could filter out those seeking simple, genuine connection. Yet every traveler I spoke to respected Bhutan's decision. They felt privileged to have seen it before the gates closed tighter. Their stories remind us what's at stake: not just a destination, but a unique form of human interaction. Bhutan's magic is not just in its landscapes, but in the way it welcomes you as a guest, not a customer. These experiences hang in the balance. The world may lose not just a place, but a way of being. Bhutan's choice is a powerful reminder of what's truly rare: the courage to protect what matters most, and the wisdom to know when to say enough. To understand Bhutan's decision, look at the world's most beloved places. Venice, Bali, Barcelona, being loved to death. Over-tourism has turned cities into theme parks, sacred sites into selfie backdrops, and natural wonders into cautionary tales. Bhutan has watched this unfold and chosen to act before it's too late. Their approach may seem extreme, but it's a rational response to an existential threat. Bhutan is choosing to be the master of its own destiny, not a victim of the global travel market. Other destinations are watching closely, some experimenting with closures or pledges, but Bhutan is taking a giant leap. The message: a country's heritage is not a commodity, but a sacred trust. Bhutan offers a lesson in long-term thinking in a world obsessed with short-term gain. Sometimes the bravest act is to say no. The path to Bhutan is narrowing. For those who dream of its prayer flag-draped bridges and mountain vistas, the time to act is now. Waiting until 2026 means facing a wall of restrictions and fierce competition for a handful of spots. The opportunity to visit under the current system is closing fast. If you're compelled to go, start planning now. Connect with a licensed Bhutanese tour operator, prepare for the sustainable development fee, and be ready to invest in an experience on the verge of legend. But this is about more than one last trip. Bhutan's decision forces us to ask, what is our responsibility as travelers? Are we entitled to go anywhere, or do we have a duty to protect the places we love, even if it means we cannot go? Bhutan may be forging a new travel ethos: sustainable, respectful, intentional. The most beautiful places are those with the courage to protect themselves, even from us.